Welcome to another episode of the Metal Queens Podcast. I'm Steve Richards. This is the podcast where we celebrate the fiercest women redefining heavy music. Today's guest, one of the most exciting rising voices in modern metal, hailing from Kentucky, showing teeth, has been turning heads across the heavy music world with a vocal style that shifts effortlessly between haunting melody, bone-crushing growls, and absolutely feral shrieks. What started as raw vocal clips recorded in her Honda Accord studio, which we're going to talk about, it quickly exploded online, earning millions of views across TikTok and Instagram and building a devoted fan base hungry for more. The debut single, which came out in November of last year, Labyrinth, produced by Dan Book and featuring Matt Halpern of Periphery on drums, introduced the world to a sound that blends progressive metalcore chaos with emotional honesty. The new single is called Rip, continues to push their sound even further. I'm happy to welcome Showing Teeth to the Metal Queens podcast.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I need to bring you with me to the bank.
Anytime.
Amy Bill. That was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm super happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, it's great to have you. So, you have said your musical journey started singing in church, in Eastern Kentucky. How did that environment shape the way you approach your vocals today?
Yeah, well, I started actually singing in church probably about in middle school or high school. So I would have been in South Louisville in Fern Creek. And yeah, I wasn't a very good singer, but that was like my only experience of just like occasionally singing backup vocals in like the youth group worship. And yeah, I remember being very bad at it and very insecure and kind of like hating it, but I had this like weird bug in my brain of like I just did it because it felt like I had to, but like no one was making me. So I don't know what that is, but it definitely was like a seed planted inside of me that like I had to figure it out. So yeah, it was a lot of just, you know, going up there and hoping for the best, but definitely no real skill or practice to it at the beginning.
All right. One of the cool, let's call it legendary parts of your story is that you were literally recording screams in your Honda Accord. How did the car become your first studio?
Just out of convenience and kind of necessity, I live in an apartment, and so I mean, I feel like if I even just play my music a little bit too loud, I get a little the broom smack. So, yeah, I'm like, the police will come if I start screaming my head off. So that just started like whenever I first started practicing, it was just in the car. And then it just escalated to like recording videos in there, recording demos in there. And then it ended up being like a lot of the final recordings on my songs are from my car.
When you first started posting those raw vocal clips online, did you expect them to blow up the way they did?
No, and even when they did, I kind of thought it was a joke. Like, I didn't really know how TikTok worked, because I just like used it as a consumer, as most do. And so, like, when I posted my first video and it got like a million views overnight, I was like, oh, I guess everyone just gets a million views. I guess this it's just like bots or something. And so I just kept doing it and like genuinely not like it did not connect that real people saw the videos until like months later when I started getting recognized in public. And then I got really embarrassed and immediately hated everything.
Social media can be brutal sometimes. You've talked about receiving criticism early on. What made you keep going instead of giving up?
Um, I just don't really see quitting as an option. Like, this is all I want to do. So it's kind of like, some of the criticism I do take constructively, and I'm like, oh, that's a good point. Like I totally accept constructive criticism, but a lot of like if I know it's not true, I don't even like it doesn't even register in my brain because it's just like, all right, I can comment anything too, I guess.
Your vocals jump between the clean melodies, those guttural growls, and the piercing shrieks. When did you realize you could push your voice into those extremes?
Um, Kind of just also out of necessity for the kind of music I enjoyed. You know, one of my favorite bands being Periphery, it's like here's Spencer who just is constantly doing backflips vocally. And like that to me is like, well, that's I have to do that. Like that's the music I like. That's like the foundation of what I love musically. Like I just that was like I had to figure it out or else like it wasn't gonna work.
Mm. Progressive metalcore, it's such a technical genre. How did you start developing your own style inside that space?
I think I'm my like taste in music is kind of all over the place. Like obviously metal is like my favorite thing in the world, but I listen to a lot of like indie pop and indie rock and a lot of just like various alternative genres. Um like most of the music I listen to is like very relaxing. And so I think just like picking out like a lot of melodic influences from a lot of different places. Because honestly, like there's a lot of metal that I don't like, just like there's a lot of pop music that I don't like. There's a lot of indie music that I don't like. So it's kind of like in my mind, I'm always like creating these puzzles of like the things I love most about music and like telling a story in that like soundscape.
The name, Showing Teeth. Where did that come from?
Um, that was kind of a lot of the songs I write about, well, a lot of the songs I write are about like they're very like vulnerable discussions of like fear and anxiety and just like that feeling of like being an animal backed into a corner. And so like I kept coming up with like song titles kind of around the same thing. And Showing Teeth is actually a song I wrote. I have a demo called Showing Teeth. Um, and I do like the song, but I ended up just liking the name a lot, and it just ended up being the project.
Your debut single, Labyrinth, that came out in November of last year. Incredibly emotional song. What was happening in your life when you wrote that one?
Oh God. Um, I so like before the project even started, I was, I was struggling with my relationship with music because I just like being a bass player for years, I just never really felt like I was getting out of like a band situation emotionally what I needed. And so I'd really kind of let that die. And then I was working a full-time job out of college. Um, that was like so hard on me, and I was in a horrible relationship. And I just like kept finding myself like fighting for all of these things in my life that like it turns out like didn't even really like matter. Like my heart just wasn't in any of it because it was like I was just trying to like appease all of these like I guess traditional values that I had been raised with. And so like yeah, it was definitely like just Labyrinth is like a frantic feeling of like trying to make someone happy like so aggressively and it's just like not working. So that's where some of the like just violent anger comes out of just like yeah, it's just like a panic song.
Rip is the new single. What's the story behind that one?
That one is also kind of in relation to like some traditional values I was raised with, like being I was raised in a very Christian conservative background being from Kentucky. And one of the things I struggled with growing up was my mental health, and it felt like it was never really taken seriously by like people in my family or the church. It was always this like very taboo topic. So Rip was kind of like just being aggressively like proving a point, which is kind of dark. It's kind of like, no, I am depressed and I think I will kill myself. And it's like that's extreme. But that was kind of like I wanted it to be extreme because that's how it felt when like you're so angry and feeling so misunderstood that it's like it's just this very angry, I'm gonna do what I want, even if that means dying.
Mm,
Sounds very horrible, but
mm.
that's kind of like just when I'm writing, I want it to be just as extreme as possible because it just feels the most like I guess true to my spirit, even though those aren't things I would ever like say out loud in conversation. It just like feels different to like put it in a song.
Was it helpful for you with with that track, writing that track, recording it?
Oh yeah, it felt kind of like I got to stand up for a younger version of myself.
You work with Matt Halpern from Periphery on drums on Labyrinth. How did that come about, and what was that experience like?
It's amazing. I never expected any of that. I was introduced to Matt through my producer, um, Dan Book, and yeah, he kind of joined as almost more of a mentor, just like happy to help. He was interested to hear how the demos went. And then when he heard like one demo, he was like, I could maybe play drums on it. And then it went to two to like all of them. And then he just like now he's just like music dad. Like he's definitely a mentor, but like truly a part of like the musical family I'm curating. And it's just amazing to have like easily one of my favorite musicians ever to like not just take an interest in the project, but truly like be a part of it. He's so fantastic.
The other two guys in your band, childhood friends, or did you meet them in Nashville? Or
Oh, and the live band?
yeah,
Oh, so they are in Nashville. And basically, Zach Munowitz, who plays guitar on Labyrinth and Rip, he lives in New York, so we're all remote. But he just posted on his Instagram and was like, "Hey, like looking for people who want to be in a band," but like very vague. And then just like got a bunch of like people who were interested in Nashville, and then I just yapped with a bunch of them, and they heard the songs and were like, "We're in." So, um, yeah, that's Ben and Justin, and now bass player Cole, who played the last two live shows. Yeah, they're all wonderful, very talented young men that are just in it for the heck of it, and I
now
love that.
will these guys be with you when you're on stages like Louder Than Life, which we're going to talk about in a moment?
I hope so. It's definitely like, we all have like full-time jobs. Some of them are in school. So it's definitely kind of like a feeling it out kind of thing, but like I hope they're all there. Um, but yeah, it's very like a low pressure environment for me because like, I'm writing all of these insanely evil to play songs. So it's like, just like all these guys have like very um great lives and careers, so definitely trying not to like be like, hey, now that you've played some shows, you're in my band forever.
Right.
So it's totally just like, we'll see as it goes. I hope so though. They're wonderful.
You mentioned evil songs. Your music has this mix of ferocity and vulnerability too. Is it important for you to show both sides?
Yeah. And I think at first it wasn't, and I think it's honestly like the songwriting has been very therapeutic for me and has like kind of I've watched myself grow up emotionally a lot through the songwriting because like when I started the writing process and when I first met Dan, um I told him I was like I don't want to sing in any songs. Like I'm just angry. I just want to write angry songs forever. And that's still true. I'm still a very angry person and I love writing angry songs. But it's like I truly have like it has been very therapeutic. I've like kind of uncovered new parts of myself that do like to be a little more vulnerable and like, you know, a little more soft.
Mm. What do you hope listeners feel when they hear a Showing Teeth song for the first time?
Um, I hope they hear just like how raw everything is. Because that's like one of the main intentions, especially with the screaming. I'm just like I'm very purposeful with like not putting like effects on my voice. Um, because I just like, when I'm recording basically one takes for a lot of the vocals, it's like it's intentional that it's a little sloppy and that it's not completely perfect. I am so sorry. Like,
Cat making
it's
a
very
guest appearance. Who is
intentional.
this? What's the name of this cat?
This is Stanley. He is
Stanley.
not on the cover of a song yet, and I think he's mad about it. But
Yes, he is. He wants
this
some
way, a sweet
attention. Yes.
boy.
Here on the Metal Queens podcast, we do love the felines. So,
Well, he had to show his face at some point.
hmm.
Um, but yeah, just like very like every breath is very intentional. And like literally down like it's weird. I'm not a perfectionist on the recording, but I am a perfectionist on the production and so is my producer Dan. We literally get down into like the breaths and like making sure like it's really feeling as authentic as possible.
All right, let's talk upcoming shows. We touched on Louder Than Life, a festival you've been going to for years. This year, you're going to be on one of those stages. What's
Yeah.
that going to be like?
Insane. I literally like I can't believe it, but I can because hello. The people who book that festival are super wonderful and so like it's an honor. It's so cool. And the lineup for this year is
Yeah.
insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's just nuts. I can't believe it. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see so many like friends from Louisville and like friends from probably all over Kentucky coming just for that. It's going to be awesome.
Home stage show for you at Louder Than Life. You're playing at Rockfest too, right?
Yes. Yeah, I am. That's coming up. Well, kind of. This year already feels like it's flying by.
Yeah, you've got those. Any other shows in where you are in Nashville or?
I would like to. It's been a little hard because I have a full-time job, so it's like I'm getting these insane and amazing offers coming in. So I'm kind of prioritizing the like really big things. But I would love to do more local stuff because like you know, that's honestly the most fun. It's
Yeah.
so fun to just, you know, rip a little show and then go home and go to bed. But yeah, we played a show at a really great venue that I love, Dark Matter, and I'd love to play there again. It was so fun. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully.
Follow them on social for updated tour and upcoming tour dates too. Oh, Shaky Knees is the other one you're playing at too this year. So
Yes.
Shaky Knees Rock Fest and then Louder Than Life, the home state show for you in Louisville. All right, how about plans for an EP or a full length album this year?
There will be a record. I should not disclose how many songs there are, but it's quite a nice handful. Um, and it's varying. There's a lot of different styles in the next handful of songs. But they are coming out this year and they are very fun.
All right. So more new music to come, still to come this year. And we mentioned the tour dates as well. All right. We're going to wrap up with our little fun segment, some kind of rapid fire questions here. If your Honda Accord Studio could talk, what do you think it would say about those early recording sessions of yours?
Oh, it would tell me to shut up and clean my car.
What's the most ridiculous place you've practiced screams?
Oh, in the middle of the woods, like 2 hours away for literally no reason, and it was so dangerous. I had no cell service, and I don't recommend doing that. I don't know why I did that. It just felt right.
Mm. If you could collaborate with any metal artist, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh my God. Oh, that's so hard. I feel like the obvious answer is like Chester Bennington.
Mm,
Um, just because that's honestly like a huge inspiration in a lot of my vocal style. And I love Linkin Park.
yeah. All right. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Showing Teeth, one of the most electrifying rising voices in modern metal, from recording those streams in a Honda Accord to building a global following and dropping these explosive tracks, Labyrinth and Rip, and more to come this year, more new music to come. She's proving that authenticity, emotion, and sheer vocal power can carve a brand new path in heavy music. Make sure to check out Showing Teeth's music, follow her on social media, and keep an eye out for those new releases and live appearances. More of them coming soon, including Louder Than Life in September this year. Can't wait to see you at that one this year.
Yes,
Well, thanks for joining me.
of course. Thank you so much for having me. This is wonderful.
Thank you. And thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to the Metal Queens podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Steve Richards. I will talk to you again next time.